Norway is a Nordic country in Northern Europe, bordering Sweden, Finland and Russia to the east, and Norway also shares a huge coast to the Norwegian Sea and the North Sea. With a total area of 385,000 square kilometers, Norway is the world's 61st largest country, which makes it a bit larger than Japan and a bit larger than Germany. The official languages of Norway are Norwegian and Sami, which is a language used by an indigenous population in the far north of Norway. Over 75% identify as Christian and 20% do not identify with any religion. Here are some more interesting facts about Norway worth knowing. Even though Norway is just the world's 61st largest country, it has the world's second longest coastline of an eye-popping 83,000 kilometers. The Norwegian North Cape is Europe's northernmost point, and Norway's easternmost point borders Russia and is further east than Cairo, the capital city of Egypt, and is also further east than most of Finland. Norway exports most of its waste to its neighboring country Sweden, which is more experienced in recycling. Moreover, it is worth knowing that Norway is not part of the European Union. The largest cities of Norway are Oslo, which is also the capital city, followed by Bergen, Trondheim and Stavanger. In total, just over 5.3 million people call Norway their home. Norway is famous for its fjords, for its cold climate, for being one of the world's most developed countries, and for its quality of life, security and high wages, as well as for its many natural resources and the polar lights. But as we will find out soon, Norway has much more than that to offer. The flag of Norway shows a blue Scandinavian cross on a red background. The Scandinavian cross can be found in many Scandinavian and Nordic countries, and it stands for Christianity. The blue cross comes from the Swedish flag from the time of the union with Sweden. The red background originates from the flag of Denmark. The lion is Norway's royal animal, the dipper is the national bird, and the Norwegian pine is Norway's national tree. Norway is not part of the European Union and also has its very own currency, which is the Norwegian crown. Norway's oil and gas industry plays a significant role in powering the economy of Norway, but it doesn't play a significant role in powering Norwegian homes. Around 98% of Norway's domestic power usage is drawn from hydroelectric power plants. The oil and gas industry contributes 18% to the gross domestic product and 62% to all exports. This makes Norway the most important provider of oil and gas in Western Europe. Even though Norway is so rich in oil and gas, surprisingly, gasoline prices in Norway are the 8th highest worldwide. Norway's economy is the world's 33rd largest, but it has the 4th highest GDP per capita in the world. According to the United Nations, Norway, Switzerland and Luxembourg are the only 3 countries worldwide with a GDP per capita of more than $70,000 that are neither islands nor microstates. As all other Scandinavian countries, Norway has a well-developed welfare system, which comes with up and downsides. Some other important industries are the shipping, fishing and food processing industries. Norway's main export partners are the UK, Germany and the Netherlands, while its main import partners are Sweden, Germany and China. Later in this video there will be an interview with Ellen, who runs a YouTube channel called Ellen Wild. Ellen moved from Belgium to Norway, will talk about her journey and will provide useful information to everyone who is interested in moving to Norway. If you have an idea which country I should cover next, please let me know down in the comments. This video is part of a video series that covers informative facts and the migration procedure of many countries around the globe. I've created dedicated videos for many countries worldwide. You can find the playlist linked in the video description below. But let's return to Norway. What are the main upsides of moving to Norway and what needs to be considered? As of the 2019 UN report, Norway ranks 58th among the countries with the largest foreign-born population. About 87,000 people living in Norway were not born there but moved to this country during their lifetimes. The biggest foreign-born populations are the Poles, followed by the Lithuanians, the Somalians and the Swedes. But what are the main upsides of moving to Norway? The first upside is Norway's incredible nature. As in Sweden and Finland, there are hundreds of thousands of square kilometers of untouched nature waiting for you to explore. In Norway, you have the freedom to roam, which means that you can travel, set up a camp, go fishing and swimming wherever you like. If you are a person that enjoys doing outdoor activities, then Norway is for sure a perfect match for you. Norway has 47 national parks, 40 of them are on the mainland and 7 on Spitsbergen. A total of 7% of the state's territory is protected. There are over 450,000 lakes and many moors and swamplands in Norway. The number of lakes is lower than in Finland and of course in Canada, but this number is still impressive. The largest lake of Norway is called Mjøsa, and the longest rivers in Norway are the Glomma, the Tanna and the Pasvikelva. Norway is one of the most sparsely populated countries in Europe. In 2020, just 1.7% of the total area was covered by human-made structures. 37.4% were classified as forest areas and 3.5% as agricultural areas. Over 50% were classified as mountains, plateaus or bog areas, and another 7% as bodies of water and glaciers. The landscape of Norway is shaped by the Skans, or the Scandinavian mountain range. There are also many barren plateaus and so-called fells, which are treeless mountain landscapes. The highest point in Norway is the Glatthoppingen, at an altitude of 2,469 meters above sea level. Just by taking a look at the map of Norway, it becomes evident how mountainous this country actually is. Therefore, it is not surprising that in Norway there are more than enough opportunities for all types of winter sports. Norway actually is the country with the most Winter Olympic gold medals. The coast and the sea play a big role in the lives of the Norwegians, since about 80% of the population of Norway lives less than 10 kilometers from the sea. There are roughly 240,000 islands in Norway, which is why Norway has such an incredible long coastline. Most of the coast is rocky with some steep cliffs, like the one at the North Cape. In more sheltered places there are also some sandy beaches, such as in Fylke Rogaland. Let's take a quick look at the climate. The Scandinavian mountains separate the narrow, humid coastal strip in the west from the more continental climate in the east. Because of the North Atlantic current, which allows relatively warm water to flow far to the north, the coastal regions are mild, so not too cold in winter and not too warm in summer. As always, let's take a quick look at the country's cuisine. Traditional Norwegian cuisine is shaped by the traditions of its farmers and fishermen. That is why fish and dairy products still play an important role in the country's cuisine. Because of the long winters and short summers, food preservation was important in the past. Dishes were often smoked, salted, pickled or dried. Typical Norwegian dishes are skjotkake, fårikål, sild, pinnekjøtt, lutefisk and rømmegrøt. In 2009, the Lohengrin chocolate bar was declared as a natural cultural asset. Another upside of moving to Norway is its high level of security. According to the Numbeo Safety Index, the first Norwegian city called Trondheim ranks 13th among the safest cities in the world. Norway is a safe country where you certainly don't have to worry about your personal safety. Not only local safety, but also security in a global context is high in Norway. According to the Global Peace Index, Norway is ranked 20th in the world. It ranks behind Sweden and Finland, but it still scores well. The next upside is that the Norwegians are very happy people. As of the Global Happiness Report of 2020, Norway ranks 5th worldwide in terms of happiness. Just Finland, Denmark, Switzerland and Iceland rank higher. All these upsides contribute to the fact that life expectancy in Norway is at 81 years. This life expectancy is one of the world's highest and about the same as the life expectancy in Switzerland, Iceland, Italy or Japan. Another upside is that the wages in Norway are very high. The average Norwegian earns 73,700 euros or almost 90,000 US dollars annually. This makes Norway rank 5th worldwide, following Switzerland and followed by Macau. If you want to learn more about the greatest upsides of moving to Norway, please check out my video about the 7 greatest upsides of moving to Norway, linked in the video description below. What does it cost to live in Norway? If you live off $3,000 a month in Miami, Florida, you will need about $3,340 for the same quality of life in Oslo. This means that living in Oslo is more than 11% more expensive than living in Miami. But in spite of all these upsides, there are also some drawbacks that you'll need to consider when moving to Norway. First comes the climate. If you enjoy a cold, snowy climate, then Norway is for sure the right country for you. But keep in mind that in December and January, the sun only shines for about 1 to 1.3 hours a day. Due to the fact that Norway is located in the north, expect winters to be very dark. On the flip side, however, there is a lot of sunshine in summer. As common in most Scandinavian countries, taxes are extremely high. The value-added tax rate is at 25%, but luckily the income tax rate is not as high as in Sweden or Finland. Nevertheless, Norway probably is not the right country for you in case you want to save some money on taxes. Let us continue with interviewing Ella. When did you move to Norway and which city did you move to?
We moved exactly 1 year ago, and we moved originally to the very small village of Oslo, but after 6 months we bought a house in a very small village called Bergen. And both of these lie in northernmost Westland.
Why did you choose Norway and not another Scandinavian country?
So we choose Norway above other Scandinavian countries because we just love the contrasts and the variety that this country gives us. We have almost everything here. We have forests, we have rivers, we have mountains, we have glaciers, we have fjords, we have beaches, we have the ocean. We have 4 very, very clear seasons. It's just a country that has it all. And for me personally, I love the ocean. So I really enjoy having beaches and the ocean and everything with water nearby. So I am very, very happy we live in Norway because now we are close to the fjords and to the ocean and to actual beaches. Also, Norway is a very, very big country, so there's a big contrast in how the landscape and the climate looks like in the south as in the north of the country. So I also love that kind of contrast, so that is why we choose Norway.
What do you enjoy most about your life in Norway?
The thing I enjoy the most, I said that before, is the contrasts. I love how much variety in nature this country has. And also the Norwegians are very big in actually enjoying that nature, so there's a lot of outdoor activities, outdoor clubs. There's a lot of stuff going on that you can do outdoors. So where we live, is an amazing, pretty famous surfing spot here in Norway. So we live around, the northernmost part of Westland is also the West Cape. And we have amazing surfing beaches there, so that's very, very cool. Also, Norway have 4 amazing seasons, so we had a long period this winter with like 1 meter of snow and we had minus 20 degrees. And then in a few weeks' time we had full-on summer. Now it's 20 degrees outside, the sun doesn't go down anymore, we have a river to swim in. It's a very big contrast, but I love these cycles and these variations in life and also in the landscape around me. So I enjoy that a lot about Norway. I love the fact that Norway has so clean air, like you can actually breathe here. I love that you can breathe here. Also the water is very clean to drink and to swim in. It's just such a clean and pristine country, especially in contrast to the country that I'm coming from, where there's a lot more pollution and so much more people that living in one tiny little spot. Here in Norway you have space. We live in a little village with only 300 inhabitants, and you actually have to drive more than half an hour to get to the next very little village with only 300 inhabitants, you know? So we have so much space here in Norway. I really enjoy that as well. The nature, the cleanness, the variety that you have here, and maybe a less specific one, but I feel more at ease here in Norway. When I lived back in Belgium, I always felt so So like, not really stressed, but I was like constantly fighting against something. It was like so much resistance all the time. Near Norway, everything just feels easier for me, it feels more natural, if that makes any sense anyway.
What do you miss most about your life in Belgium?
There's almost nothing that I miss about Belgium. I mean, of course, I would love to see my family and friends again, because especially with Corona, I have not seen them for a year by now. Oh, maybe I do know one thing. I miss the fact that you can go to a regular, normal supermarket and buy affordable, ecological chocolate for a reasonable price. I do kind of miss that one. Other than that, there is nothing that I miss about Belgium, like honestly nothing. The first time we are going to go back to Belgium is probably during Christmas time. And I very much look forward to celebrating Christmas with my family, of course, but I do not look forward to driving back to Belgium, to driving those very big car roads, to seeing so many people in one spot. I don't know, I don't love the atmosphere there, so maybe this will change after a few years of living here. I will start to miss more stuff that I don't realize I miss now. But there is not much that I miss in Belgium.
Was it hard for you to learn Norwegian?
I have to be very honest here, because I am still very much in the process of learning Norwegian. I, by the way, did not very long ago, I did a whole video about learning Norwegian, about how I learn Norwegian, about what I think is the best strategy in learning Norwegian. But if I have to summarize it very shortly, before I moved here, me and my husband, we went to evening school in Belgium, and we did a whole year of evening classes where we had 2 hours a week with a teacher. We learned a lot with that, so we had a very good basis, like a very basic understanding of Norwegian before coming here. And because we had this basis, once we were here, everything went so much faster. Our learning speed and our understanding was so much better than would we have come here knowing no Norwegian at all. Also, I almost speak no English anymore here. It's only like a few particular cases that I would speak English here, but I try to speak only Norwegian, which helps a lot in learning. But I have a long way to go, but it has to become fluent. I have long years to go, I think. But I get along fine. I think for only 1 year of living here, it is pretty acceptable. But I do want to get better, because speaking Norwegian is very important when you live in Norway. It is the most important thing that you could ever do if you want to integrate in Norway.
What advice would you give people who are interested in moving to Norway?
Well, my first piece of advice is start learning Norwegian, because as I just said, learning Norwegian is the most important thing you can do if you want to move to Norway. I think the advice that I want to give you is a bit of the same advice as if you would move to another country, not maybe specifically to Norway, but I can say if you move to another country, or maybe if you even move to another place within your own country, moving, it comes with a change of your surroundings, and this will reflect back to a change within yourself. You have to be prepared for that. You also can't expect to just run away from everything in your home country. You can't expect to have a fresh start, because everything that you have going on the inside, you will just take it with you to your new home country, and you will have to work on it anyway. So don't move to Norway or don't move to any other country to try and solve all your internal issues, because that's not going to happen. So my best advice is to have an open mind, to go a little bit with the flow, to let go a little bit and let it roll out for you. Don't try to control everything, because immigration it's never easy. Thank you, Hen, for having me. It was very fun to do this, because I love talking about Norway. I love talking about moving to Norway and my personal journey there. So you can find a lot of stuff that I have written about this journey on my blog as well, and a lot of videos on my channel. So that is everything. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, Ella, for taking time to join this interview. Please make sure to check out her YouTube channel, linked in the video description below, for more informative videos about moving to Norway. If you want to learn more about this country, you will for sure like her channel. But what needs to be done in order to move to Norway? Residents of countries that are part of the Schengen area, as well as many other countries in North and South America, Australia, New Zealand, Japan and South Korea, are able to enter Norway visa-free for a maximum of 90 days. This comes in handy since it allows you to experience Norway on your own before deciding to move there. If you want to stay in Norway for more than 3 months, you should go to the local authorities to register yourself. If you have a job or are financially self-sufficient, you won't face any problems in staying in Norway. As soon as you stayed in Norway for a total of 5 years, you are eligible to apply for a permanent residence permit. For more information about that, please check out the link in the video description below.